Hi, this is Lee Garrett and welcome to another edition of Screencasts Online. Back in show 1159, we started to look at Hazel version 5. We covered installation and licensing and how to set up a couple of basic rules for automating some of the file management on your Mac. Now today I'm going to look more at the features and options contained within Hazel. So lots of right clicking and looking at what we can do, with a couple of example rules thrown in again, of course, that you may want to take away and use for yourself or modify to fit your own workflow. Now the first bit we're going to look at is how Hazel can look at managing your trash for you. Now the options for this can be found in Preferences, so I'm going to enter Preferences by pressing Command and comma. And as there really isn't a lot here in the Preferences window for us to check out later, we may as well just cover the General and Advanced sections here now. So General is really all about appearance and how the Hazel interface is laid out. Now I personally always use the default 3-column view that we have here. However, you can click to change to this layout here where the rules are below the monitored folders, which is useful if you don't have a large number of each that you have to scroll through. And then on the far right, it's very similar. However, the folders and the rules are at the top with the rule details beneath. That doesn't work for me though, so I'm going to click on the 3-column layout again and move to trash. Now if I check this checkbox here, Hazel will watch the trash, and when anything has been sitting in there for a certain amount of time, it will delete it. Now we define that amount of time over here, so clicking this drop down allows us to switch between hour, if you're particularly aggressive. Then we have day, week, month and year for the more passive of you. Then you can change the number here, so I'm going to set this at 2 weeks. Below that, whilst monitoring, you can define how large your trash should be. Now, if you don't care how much is in the trash, then just leave it unchecked. However, if you'd like to assign like a storage quota to it, then you can check here and you can pick the size as well. Now, this drop down here lets you switch between megabytes and gigabytes, as well as if you don't want it to be a fixed number, you can elect it to be a fixed percentage of the overall disk capacity. Now below that, you can define what action will be taken with oversized files. So what exactly is an oversized file? Well, essentially it's a file that all on its own would exceed the limit that you have defined. So here, if I delete a file that is 1.3 gig in size, that qualifies as an oversized file. So do I leave it as is? If so, then the file is going to be left in the trash and Hazel will just ignore it when it's calculating the total trash size. Otherwise, it would always be over the limit. Now, if a top option is checked, where you set a time limit for files that are sitting in the trash, it will still be deleted when that time limit is reached. And you can also delete it immediately, which is both immediate and permanent. Then beneath that, you can choose how secure the deletion is. Do you want to have a normal deletion or a secure one? So normally when files are deleted, their data is actually still intact on your disk. And all macOS does is it marks the occupied space as being available for reuse. So until another file actually overwrites that space, the data is actually still there and can be recovered using recovery tools. So the secure option is a 7-pass secure deletion, which makes sure that they are completely unrecoverable. We're going to look at App Sweep at the bottom here separately in the next section and just quickly come to Advanced, which isn't actually too advanced. Here you can define which notifications you're going to receive. So errors, file events and trash events. I do like having these on as it kind of reminds me that Hazel is there doing its thing. And then below you can choose how often the app is going to check for updates. Is it going to be never, daily, weekly or monthly? Okay, as said, we're going to come back to App Sweep in the next section. For now though, whilst we're talking about trash and keeping things lean and mean, I just want to show you a sample rule that will help keep some key areas on your machine tidy. We know from experience that if it's left untouched, this downloads folder can fill up pretty quickly.
That's just a quick preview of one of this week's Apple-related tutorials from Screencasts Online. Screencasts Online is your premium source of Apple-related video tutorials. All of our members get access to brand new, up-to-date tutorials each week, as well as unlimited access to our entire video archive full of Mac and iOS-related tutorials. You can stream and download all of our videos on your Mac, iPad and iPhone, and even your Apple TV using the members-only Screencasts Online Apple TV app. Membership also includes a complimentary subscription to the digital Screencasts Online monthly magazine, published each month and packed with videos, articles, reviews, as well as hints and tips covering all aspects of the Mac, iPad, iPhone, and all of the other fantastic Apple products. So, if you're ready to start getting the most out of your Apple devices, visit screencastsonline.com today and become a Screencasts Online member.